without wasting time, let's begin. Question 1. What is a characteristic of all living organisms? Breathing. No, we did Mrs. Green, right? Breathing is not there. Circulation is not there. Ejection is not there. Sensitivity is there. Other Mrs. Green, right? Sensitivity is there. So number 1 is D. Sensitivity, Miss Green. Okay, we go to number 2 quickly. He said the table shows a sections of DNA taken from 4 different organisms. So we can see the organism W, X, Y, Z, and we see the base sequence of the DNA. Now you can see that A is CAC, but X, for W is CAC, for X is GTC, but for Y is also CTC. At least there's a relationship between W and Y. And also Z, CTC. Okay, you see how they began and how they ended. This one, X end with A, W and X, Y end with A, and Z end with A. But only X is different, like doesn't end with A. And only X is different, starts with G, doesn't start with C. So if you look at the similarity with the W, Y, and Z, they're kind of similar. Not exactly same, but they're similar. Now, the question is, which 2 organisms are the most distantly related to each other? Which 2 organisms are the most distantly related to each other? Okay. If they benchmark X with any other one, then they will be distantly related. But if they are say W and Y, they are not distantly related. W and Z, they are not distantly related. But anything with X, benchmark with X, will be distantly related. Okay? Now let's take a look at W and X. Yes, you can see C and G, A and T, although we have a little bit relationship, but they are still distantly related. Okay? So you can see that A looks very likely for question 2. A looks very likely. Let's see X and Y. X and Y, they are very, very much related. Okay? They are much related. A little bit, even if there's a difference between them. So I think W and X is most distantly related. So we go to the third question. Scientists discovered a new species of animal. It has a segmented body with 2 pairs of legs on each segment. 2 pairs of legs on each segment. So every segment has 2 pairs of legs, right? Now, to which group of animals does this new species belong? Other classification, okay? Other classification. Is it arachnid? Is it crustacea? Is it says in my report? It's my report, okay? So this part, you just have to revise. When you have 2 pairs of legs on every segment, those classes are categorized as myriapod. Now we go to question 4. The diagram shows a single-celled organism called Euglena, and Euglena belongs to we have the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, the protista, the prokaryotes, right? There are 5, and the fungi. There are 5 groups. Okay, so Euglena doesn't belong to the animal kingdom, doesn't belong to the plant kingdom. I think it's in the protista kingdom. So okay, he said which labeled structure would also be found in the animal cell? Which of these is also found in animal cell? Here it has a cell membrane. Cell membrane is in animal cell. It has cytoplasm, also in animal cell. It has nucleus, also in animal cell. Large permanent vacuole, and chloroplast. Chloroplast is in plant cells, not in animal cell. So anywhere we find chloroplast, and then that becomes a wrong one because it's not going to be found in animal cell. Which labeled structure will also be found in animal cell? A, cell membrane, chloroplast, and nucleus. So because of chloroplast, this one becomes wrong. This one becomes wrong. Chloroplast, because of chloroplast, this one becomes wrong. Cell membrane, cytoplasm, and nucleus. Yes, all these 3 are found in animal cells. Cell membrane, cytoplasm, large permanent vacuole. Animal cells don't have a large vacuole; they have small vacuole. So this also becomes wrong. So the most correct answer is C. Okay, we move to the next question quickly. Question number 5. The diagram shows some of the blood vessels and other structures in the human body. Some of the blood vessels. So they are showing you the blood vessels. You know, the blood vessels, artery, veins, and the capillaries. So that's what the diagram is showing. Now, the blood vessels shown are all parts of the same what? Are they all parts of the same cell? No. Are they all part of the same organ? No. Are they all part of the same organ system? Likely organ system, because the blood vessels are organ and they are called the organ system, right? They are called the organ system. They are called the organ system. So the correct answer to this question 5 is C. Now we go to question 6 as fast as we can, so we can finish this question paper as fast as possible. It says a photograph shows a plant cell nucleus measuring 2 millimeters across. If the magnification of the cell is 500, what is the actual size of the nucleus? Okay, this one is B. Now, how? You say magnification, you know it has formula. Magnification is equal to measure size, the measure size over actual size. The measure size over actual size. So, magnification has been given to be 500. So, we put 500 here. You say 500 is equal to, what's the measure size? They told us 2 millimeters. And all the options are in millimeters. So no need to convert this millimeter to meter. So I'm going to use 2 straight away. So I'll say 2, the measure size is 2 millimeters. So I just put 2 there. Over the actual size, we don't know. That's what they want us to calculate. They say we should find the actual size. So I can put AS instead of AC. Actual size. Okay, so we cross multiply. We have AS times 500 equals to 2. AS times 500. If you cross multiply, is equal to 2. So to find the actual size, you now say AS is equal to 2 divided by 500. Equal to 2 divided by 500. 2 divided by 500. So that gives us 2 divided by 500, that gives us 0.04 millimeter. 0.04 millimeter. Okay, so that's how the answer of this one is B. That's how the answer of this one is B. Okay, so remember this formula. Every year, there's no year you will not find one question from magnification. Sometimes they draw the diagram for you. You use your distance to measure it, the measured length across whatever, if it's amoeba cell, if it's any cell they give you, you do sometimes they give you the diagram, they want you to do the measurement yourself. They now ask you to calculate the actual size. Or they give you the actual size, they give you the measurement size, they ask you to calculate magnification. So what you need to know is that magnification equals to the measured size over the actual size. That's it. But if the units in the answers are in meter, you have to convert the millimeter to meter. That's another thing that you may come across in this type of question. Now we move on to question 7. Question 7 is quickly addressing, he said, by which process do oxygen and carbon dioxide move between cells and capillary? Of course, it's diffusion. Oxygen is a gas. Carbon dioxide is a gas. So gas molecule, they move from one cell to another, or one tissue to another, or one surface to another by process of diffusion. Diffusion is the movement of gas molecule from region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. Okay, remember in diffusion you don't require semi-permeable membrane. Okay, now we go to question 8 to save time. You say, which process is involved in the uptake of glucose by the epithelial cells of the kidney tubules? You can say kidney tubes, but these tubules because single. Okay, so which process is involved in the uptake of glucose by the epithelial cells of the kidney tube? Okay, now let's take a look at the options we have. Number 1 is active transport. Number 2 is osmosis. Number 3 is translocation, transpiration. These two are already wrong. Translocation and transpiration. Transpiration is the loss of water from the leaf as a result of heat and the uptake of water from the ground. So translocation is the movement of the glucose that has been manufactured from region of manufacture to region of source to region of use. Okay, so these two are already out of this question. So the answer is between A and B. Now we go back to the question. Say which process is involved in the uptake of glucose? Uptake of glucose by the epithelial cells of kidney tube. You know, for kidney tubes, kidney to take the glucose, it requires energy. Energy could be in form of oxygen. So anything that requires energy is called active transport. It's called what? Active transport. It's called what? Active transport. It's called active transport. Now let's go to question 9 as fast as we can to save time. We want to maximize time and see how fast we can finish. Question 9 says, which element is found in protein but not in carbohydrate? Of course, we should know this. Okay? Of course, we should know this. Is nitrogen. You know, carbohydrate has carbon, it has hydrogen. These are the elements in carbohydrate. You know, this is the element. You know, we write C6 if you are writing glucose or carbohydrate. H12, O6. This is what we write, right? It has these three elements: carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. But when you are saying protein, you must include nitrogen. You must include what? Nitrogen. When you add nitrogen to this one, you get protein. Now we go to question 10 as fast as we can. Okay? Question 10 says, the diagram shows a short section of a single strand of a DNA. A short section of a single strand of a DNA, ACCT. Now, which strand of DNA we combine with the strand to form part of a double helix? Which one we combine to form a double helix? Not the same ACCT, right? This one, no. A, no. B, no. Right? B, no. C, no. A to C, you know it's always A to C, C to G, and another C to G, and T to A. Right? A to T, T to A. So the answer is D. Right? For a strand of DNA. You look at the DNA structure when you're forming double helix. Is that okay? You revise that topic. Okay, now we go to question 11. As fast as we can, let's go to question 11. Question 11 says, starch is digested by amylase in the mouth, but it is not digested in the stomach. Starch is digested by amylase in the mouth, but is not digested in the stomach. You know, protein digestion is in the stomach, or probably, start from the stomach, but carbohydrate from the stomach and the small intestine. But it's not in the, and from the mouth and the small intestine for carbohydrate. So they say, what is the reason for this? Why is this so? Why is this so? All starch digestion is completed in the mouth. No, that's not true. That's not the reason. B, the pH in the stomach is not suitable for the amylase to work. That's true. Because the pH in the stomach is acidic. It's only suitable for protease. Okay, for protease to work. The protein enzymes is only suitable. You know, you have the gastric juice in the stomach. You have the gastric juice. You have the protein, what you call the protease. And the protease, you know, there are two types of protease. We have the. Okay, let's move on. So to save time, we are not lecturing this topic. So let's say the reason is that the pH in the stomach is a bit acidic and is not suitable. Is not suitable for carbohydrate digestion. Now let's see, B looks correct. Let's see, the starch does not stay in the stomach long enough to be digested. That's not true. They all stay there. The temperature in the stomach is not suitable for amylase to work. It's not about the temperature. It's not about the temperature. It's the acidity. It's the pH. It's the pH. So the most correct answer, even though D is close, but it's not. It has nothing to do with the temperature of the stomach. Okay. Now we go to question 12 as fast as we can. Question 12 says, which statement describes a catalyst? A catalyst is something that speeds up a chemical reaction, but it does not itself get used up in the process. Okay, it does not itself get used up. A substance that decreases, no, it does not decrease. It does not decrease the rate of reaction, A is wrong. A substance that decreases the rate of reaction, B is wrong. A substance that increases the rate of chemical reaction and is changed by the reaction, no, it's not changed by the reaction. Then a substance that increases the rate of chemical reaction and is not changed by the reaction, yes, D. So this is a catalyst. They speed up the rate, they increase the rate of reaction, but they don't get used up, they do not get changed themselves. Now let's go to question 30 as fast as we can. Question 30 as fast as we can. A plant with stripped leaf was kept in a bright light for 6 hours. This is the white stripe and this is the green stripe. Okay, now a leaf was taken from the plant and the chlorophyll was removed. Now the leaf was then tested for starch using iodine solution. Now which diagram shows the result of the test? Which diagram shows the result? It should be A, right? From yellow brown to, you now have the blue black for iodine solution. Blue, yeah, white to blue black to green, no. Yellow brown to, it's A. Yellow brown to blue black, for if you use iodine solution to test this type of leaf. Now we'll move on to the next question as fast as we can. Question number 14. Question number 14. We say the diagram shows daily carbon dioxide uptake and transpiration by the plant Agave americana. Agave americana. Now this is the daily carbon dioxide uptake, okay, and the transpiration. You know, carbon dioxide uptake, it's what the leaf takes, right? The carbon dioxide that is to the leaf through the stomata, and the transpiration, how this thing is lost, how the carbon dioxide is lost, or how oxygen is lost, whichever gas you're talking about. But in this regard, we're talking about carbon dioxide in plants. So how the carbon dioxide is taken and how it's being lost, okay? By the plant Agave americana. Now the plant is adapted to live in a very dry condition. It's adapted to live in a very dry condition. So the plant has gotten used to living in a very dry condition. Now this is the carbon dioxide uptake per milligram, uptake per milligram per decimeter square per hour. Okay, and this is the carbon dioxide uptake, and this is transpiration, the rate of loss of carbon dioxide. So they take higher, and but they still lost. Okay, so now what can be concluded from the graph? What can be concluded from the graph? What can we say about the graph? Now let's quickly take a look at the options. Most stomatas are closed during the dark period. No. B. Most stomatas are closed during the light period. Yes, right? Not the dark period, during the light period. Most stomatas are closed. It looks likely. There is no carbon dioxide uptake during the dark period. No. There is no water uptake during the light period. No. I think it's more like more stomatas are closed during the light period. Okay. Most stomatas are closed. You know why? Why? Because you can see the rate of carbon dioxide uptake is higher than the rate of transpiration. Okay, so during the light period, most stomatas are closed. If this one was higher, if the rate of loss, transpiration is higher, then it would have been more stomatas are closed during the dark period. Okay, so the answer is B. We go to question 50 as fast as we can. Say, statement 1 to 4 describe stages in the development of cholera. Okay, statement 1 to 4 describe stages in the development of cholera. Statement 1 to 4 describe stages in the development of cholera. Now, chloride ions are secreted into the gut during the development of cholera, right? We say chloride ions are secreted into the gut. Oh, I know this type of question. They want us to arrange the order of occurrence of the event. Osmosis causes water to move into the gut. Osmosis causes water to move into the gut. That could not be the first one. The infected person becomes dehydrated. The infected person, this will be the last. When you are not dehydrated, means you already have the cholera. This should be one of the last one. So 3 should be one of the last steps. Toxins are produced by the pathogenic bacteria. Okay, this should be the first one. Toxins are produced by the pathogenic bacteria. Then should be the first one, because the pathogen is the first thing. The bacteria that is going to cause the cholera is the first thing. When you, let's say for example, if there's the outbreak, water outbreak, dam breaks down and it overflows into a city, and then people get mixed up and the feces suck away, burst, and all this stuff flows into a city, for example, and then people there may be affected with cholera, right? The first thing that will happen is that the toxins are produced. These toxins are produced from the bacteria. Bacteria will be all over the place by the pathogenic bacteria. That's the first step. The second step might be the chloride ion are secreted into the guts. Maybe you drink from the water. You know, this could be the next one. The chloride ion will be secreted into the guts. Okay, when you drink the water. Probably the next one could be osmosis causes water to move into the gut. Okay, the process by which the water will move. So this could be the next one. Osmosis causes water to move into the gut could be the next one, because after you say chloride ion are secreted, you know, pathogen cause the bacteria cause chloride ion to be secreted in the water you're about to drink, and then when you drink, osmosis will cause the water to move into your gut. That's the third step. Then the fourth step will be the infected person become dehydrated. The infected person, that water you drink, you become dehydrated. So this will be the natural order of arrangement. So the first step is the toxins are produced from the bacteria in that water you're about to drink. Number 2 is that chloride ion will be secreted in that water you're about to drink. Number 3 is that osmosis process will help the water to move into your gut. Number 4 is that you become dehydrated after you you've drank the water. So these are the four processes. So we look for the options that suit arrange, that best arrange. A is wrong, B is wrong, C is 4, 1, 2, 3. Yes, C is correct. D is 4, 1, 3, 2. These are similar, but I think C is more correct, because the hydration is the last process. The hydration, not the osmosis causing the water to move into the gut. Now we go to number 16 as fast as we can. Question number 16. For question number 16, we say, what are the products when proteins are broken down? You break down protein, you get amino acid, right? This is not a question. Even this primary school, some primary school kids can get this. When you break down protein, you get the smaller units of protein is called amino acid. Okay? Fatty acid and glycerols are for fat. Fatty acids and glycerols are for fat. Simple sugars are for what? Carbohydrates. Right? Now we move to the next question. We move to the next question quickly. Question number 17. Question number 17, we say, the diagram shows part of a cross-section of a root. This is a root, right? Here you have the root hair cells that will absorb the water and mineral ions that will help in the absorption of water and mineral ions into the xylems, and that will take the water and mineral ions into the whatever. Now let's see, what are the cells? 1, 2. Okay, I already mentioned 1. 1 is a root hair cell. Okay, so I'll just write arrow. Root hair cell. 2 might be the root of the cortex cell. The root of cortex cell, not root hair cell. Okay, root of the cortex. Arrow CC. This one, root hair cell, arrow AC. And number 3 could be our xylem. You see it's big, right? The xylem that will take it to the xylem cells. That will take the water and mineral ions. So I say XC, xylem cells, or xylem whatever. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3. So we look for the option that best arrange them like that. A is no. This one that looks like sperm cells is always called the root hair cells. The one that eventually go deeper into the ground is called the root hair cells. So A is wrong, and D is wrong because they did not start with root hair cell. So this is how you eliminate other options and focus on the remaining. You narrow down your choice. Because if you can narrow down your choice, you are able to get the answer. The probability of getting the answer is higher. It's close to 1. Probability of getting the answer is very close to 1. So B says root hair cell, yes. 1 is root hair cell, 2 is root cortex cell, and xylem. B is the answer. This one says root hair cell, cortex cell, and mesophyll cell. No, it's not mesophyll cell. So B is the most correct answer. We move. Okay? I think we should change to red. More conspicuous. Okay. Now we go to question 18. We go to question 18. We say question 18, we say the diagram shows an onion plant that has been grown from a seed. Each onion plant takes 2 years to flower and produce more seed. 2 years to flower and produce more seed. Now this is year 1 this way, and this is the second year this way. Okay, now let's see. First, we see the seed, soil level. The seed is in the soil level, step 1. Step 2, you can see it's no more seed. The onion has grown and it's making its tube and everything. Now it has leaf and it has a bulb, onion bulb, the one we harvest for food. And then we have the seed is now bent, is overripe. And then we see the other side, step 5 for the second year. You see developing, you see this one, and then you see the next step, step 6. You see the bulb is grown, super grown, and this one is developing flowers, and then you see bunch of it as it were. Okay. Now let's see what the question wants from us. Question: what do you want from us? Question: what is the onion bulb acting as in stage 3 and stage 6? In stage 3 and stage 6. Stage 3 and 6. Let's see stage 3 and 6. Stage 3, this one. What is it at here? At? And here. What is it acting as? Now let's see. We visualize the picture, okay? Visualize the picture, and then we can see, we'll be able to see what is acting at. Now, number A is sink and sink. No, it's not sink and sink. Sink is B, sink and source. C, source and sink. The answer is between B and C. So we go to look which option. It's not source and source. It's not sink and sink. You know the meaning of source, right? The point of manufacture. Sink is the point of usage. The point of usage. Okay? So stage 3 is point of, let's see stage 3 again. It has leaf already, right? So this is the point of usage. It has leaf. But here the leaf are just growing. Okay? So this is the point of manufacture. This is the point of manufacture. So this is point of usage. So the answer is sink and source, B. C, sink and source, B. Is that okay? So we move to the next question to save time. Question number 19. We say, what are the main vessels carry blood to and from kidney? The main vessels carry blood to and from kidney. Okay. In kidney, it's called renal. Renal, whether you are saying renal artery or renal vein. So the vessels is called renal. If you see pulmonary, pulmonary is the one that goes to lungs. Pulmonary artery and pulmonary vein is for lung. So when we're talking about kidney, it's about renal. Renal artery, renal vein. So you go. So which eliminates A and B. So which means A and B are wrong. There is no pulmonary when you're discussing kidney. So gone. Your options are C and D. We're going to pick the correct option from between C and D, right? So, to go, what brings the blood to the kidney is renal artery. What takes it away is called the to kidney is renal artery. Okay? This is different from heart. You know, don't say, oh, because what takes the blood away from the heart is artery. So, it's artery, right? Yeah, it's artery. So, what brings the blood to the heart is vein. So, similar logic. So, what brings the blood to the kidney is renal artery to the kidney. Because this is different from the heart. You know, the heart is pumping the blood away. But this one is receiving the blood that has been pumped. So, what brings it is the artery. The artery flows to the kidney and say, take the blood. The heart asked me to give you some of it. So, he received. What gives it is the renal artery. And what takes it away is the renal vein. So, C is the most correct one. So, they put C and D to confuse you. And a lot of people will fail this one. Now, let's move to the next question. Okay. Okay. Now we go to question 20. The photomicrograph shows human blood. The photomicrograph shows the human blood. Which blood component makes antibodies? Which blood component makes the antibody? Which blood component makes the antibody? I think it's C, right? Which blood component? But here they should have put a little bit more description. Makes the antibody, produce antibody C, this one. This component of the blood. Okay, we move to question 21. Question 21, we say a child is vaccinated against measles. A child is vaccinated against measles. After a period of time, the child is infected with the measles virus. Now, the graph shows the concentration of the measles antibodies in the child's blood stream during this time. Now, let's take a look at the graph that shows the concentration. This antibody concentration in the blood. So, the child has been immunized, but still, it still got the virus. The virus still caught up with the child. So, what is the problem? What could be the problem? You vaccinate a child against measles. After some time, the child still got the disease. Which statement is consistent with the information in the graph? Which statement? After the vaccination, the child produced memory cell. After the vaccination, the child produced memory cells. Could be. The child had passive immunity against measles. No. The measles virus contained antibodies. No. The vaccination failed to protect the child against the measles. From the graph, they say from the graph. So whatever answer we are giving has to be consistent with the graph, with what we have in the graph, right? Whatever answer we are giving has to be consistent with what we have in the graph. This is the antibody concentration in the blood. So after vaccination, the child produced memory cells. I think that's the most suitable answer. The child produced memory cells. Okay? That's why still after some time, the child caught the disease. Now let's go to question 22. Question 22, which sequence of changes takes place when we breathe in? When we breathe in, what happens? The diaphragm will contract. When you breathe out, it will relax. Diaphragm will relax when you breathe out. You breathe out, the diaphragm will relax. When you breathe in, your diaphragm will contract. I think that's the first thing that will happen. The diaphragm will contract. The volume of thorax increase, yes. If your diaphragm contracts, your thorax will increase. The volume, whatever is the space there will increase. And the pressure in the lung will decrease. Yes. When you breathe in, the pressure in the lung will decrease. But the volume of your thorax will increase and diaphragm will contract. A looks absolute answer, but you cannot just choose without looking at others. Diaphragm contrast, volume of thorax increase. Okay, you see? Up till now they are saying pressure in this increase. No, pressure in the lung decreases. So I think the answer is A. So we go to diaphragm relax. Anything relax, when you breathe in, diaphragm do not relax. It's when you breathe out that your diaphragm relax. So these two options already cancel themselves out. So you choose from A and B. The diaphragm contract, volume of thorax increases, but the pressure in your lung will decrease. That's the most correct answer. Now we go to question 23. The list shows some processes that take place in the human body. The list shows some processes that take place in the human body. Production of new red blood cells, that's one. Production of new red blood cells. 2. Transmission of nerve impulses from the eyes to the brain. Transmission of impulses from, okay. The list shows some processes that take place in the human body. Okay, human body, production of new red blood cells. Yeah, this takes place in our body, right? Production of new red blood cells takes place. Transmission of nerve impulses from the eyes. Nerve impulses from the eyes to the brain. Yes, right? Diffusion of gases into and out of the lungs. Diffusion of gases into and out of the lungs. Yes, right? Right? Which processes use energy released by respiration? Okay. Because all the three, they happen in the body. All these processes, the three, they happen in our human body. But now the question is clearer now. The question is asking which processes uses energy released by respiration. Energy released by respiration. You know, energy released by respiration is used to break down the food. It's used to break down the food. So which means the production of new red blood cells uses the energy. Transmission of nerve impulses use energy. But the diffusion of gas into the body, out of the body does not require that energy because the energy has not been produced. You know, it's the oxygen you breathe in that we react with carbon dioxide to release that energy. The energy has not been released by thought process. So it's process 1 and 2 only. It's process 1 and 2 only. Now we go to question 24. Question 24, which equation is aerobic respiration? Which equation is aerobic respiration? We know aerobic respiration, right? So this one is wrong. Carbohydrate will react with oxygen to produce carbon dioxide and water plus energy. So this one reacts with oxygen to produce carbon dioxide and water. This is anaerobic. This is anaerobic. So the answer is C. The correct answer is C. Okay? Carbon dioxide reacts with oxygen to produce carbon dioxide and water plus energy, ATP. You can say plus ATP. But since they did add ATP, it's okay, it's fine. Okay, we move on. 25. Which statement about urea is correct? Which statement about urea is correct? Urea is formed from excess amino acids in the kidney and excreted by the liver. No, it's not excreted by the liver. The story at the beginning was looking good, but it says excreted by the liver. So this makes this one throws this point out. Urea is formed from excess glucose in the liver and ingested by the kidney. No, not ingested by the kidney. Urea is formed from excess glucose. It's not actually formed from excess glucose in the kidney and ingested by the liver. C is also wrong. Urea is formed from excess amino acid. That's correct. It's formed from excess amino acid, which was the first point this one mentioned. The only thing that made this one to be wrong was it is excreted by liver. It's not excreted by liver, it's excreted by kidney. Urea is excreted by kidney. So it says urea is formed from excess amino acid in the liver. That's correct. And excreted by the kidney. That's correct. So the correct answer is D. The correct answer is D. The most correct answer is D. Now we move to question number 26. The diagram shows the appearance of an eye when in bright light. Okay, bright light. When bright light comes to the eyes, what do happen? What normally happens? Okay, which row gives the correct statement of the iris muscles in bright light. Which row gives the correct state of the iris in bright light? Right? Now the radial muscles and the circular muscles. The radial muscles contracted, no. So A and B is wrong. A and B is wrong. The radial muscles, the one receiving the light, the muscles around this one do not, they only relax and they don't contract. They relax, and the circular muscle is contracted. The circular muscles of the eyes, those one will contract. That's why the eyeball gets larger, gets bigger. Okay, so C is the most correct answer. So we move on to question 27. Question 27. He said, what is the effect of adrenaline on pulse rate and blood sugar concentration? What is the effect of adrenaline? What is the effect of adrenaline on pulse rate and blood glucose concentration? Now we look at the pulse rate and we look at the blood glucose. Adrenaline, does it increase the pulse rate or decrease pulse rate? Adrenaline does not decrease pulse rate. So anything decrease pulse rate is wrong. Adrenaline does not decrease the sugar. It does, but most importantly, it does not decrease pulse rate. It increases the pulse rate. Okay. That's why if you have less sugar, they will ask you to take adrenaline tablet, okay, or adrenaline, whatever. So it increases pulse rate and also increases the sugar level. So the right answer is D. The right answer is D. It increases both your pulse rate and your sugar level if you have low sugar. Okay, because this is what they give you. You know, if you have too much sugar, they give you insulin. If you have too much sugar in your body, that means your insulin is no longer enough. It's no longer enough to filter the sugar away from your blood. They give you insulin. But if you have low sugar, you know, we also, the same way we have high sugar level concentration in the blood, the same way we also have low sugar concentration. If you have low sugar, they give you adrenaline. If you have low sugar in your blood, they give you adrenaline. If you have high sugar, they give you insulin. If you have high sugar, which is called diabetes, in your blood, they give you insulin. Okay, insulin injection or insulin tablet. If you have low sugar in your blood, they give you adrenaline. So adrenaline increases your pulse rate and also increases your sugar concentration. Now we go to question 28. Which statement about oxy are correct? Question 28. Which statement about oxy are correct? Oxy is made in all cells in plant. No. Oxy is not made in all cells. Is it made in all cells? No. Oxy causes cells to elongate. Yes. You know, it causes, because it makes the shoot to grow towards light or the root to grow towards the water. So it causes cells to elongate. It's like plant hormone. It's a plant hormone that causes the cell to elongate. Oxy moves between the cells by osmosis. No. Oxy is unequally distributed. Yes, it's not equally distributed. It's not equal amount in every part of the plant. Okay, I think we go for 2 and 4 D. So we go for 2 and 4 D. Now let's go to question 29. 29 is long. 29 is Yungu Shuku. It's long. Scientists carry out a survey on the effect of giving up smoking on the risk of developing lung cancer. The results are shown in the graph. Okay, smoking, you know, smoking can cause lung cancer. So, percentage, even if you don't smoke, don't stay near people who smoke. Like I always say to students, don't stay near people who smoke because it's the same thing. You will be a second-hand smoker. Now, let's take a look at the graph. Percentage cumulative risk of developing lung cancer. Continued smoking. If you continue to smoke, you have a higher percentage of getting lung cancer. Stop smoking at 60 years. You have like almost 0.5% of the value reported of getting lung cancer. Quit smoking at age 30, your chance is little. Never smoke, your chance of getting lung cancer is even way smaller. Your chance of getting lung cancer is even way smaller. So these are the ages that have been shown for the five so and so of people surveyed. The ages of people that they have surveyed. Consider people from age 45 to 75. Okay, now the scientists made 3 conclusions. Now here are their conclusions. They say, according to them, they say stopping smoking reduces the risk of developing lung cancer. Yeah, that's true, right? Kind of. Age increases the risk of lung cancer for smokers and non-smokers. Yes. The earlier people stop smoking, the lower the risk. Yes. The earlier you stop, all 3 are correct. So we look for that option. Which conclusions are correct? 1, 2, 3. So our answer will be A. The earlier you stop, the better for you. The more you reduce your risk of getting lung cancer. Now let's go to question 30. Question 30 says a zygote has 10 chromosomes in its nucleus. A zygote has 10 chromosomes in its nucleus. Which rows shows the number of chromosomes in the cell of this species? Which row shows the number of chromosomes in the cells of this species in the body? He said it has how many? 10 chromosomes in the nucleus. Right? 10 chromosomes in the nucleus. So how many chromosomes will be in the body? 10, of course. So 5 will be wrong. Since you have 10 chromosomes in the nucleus, in the whole body of that organism, it will be 10, right? Other area, we cannot discuss what they have. So the answer will be between this and this. In the sperm cells, it will have half of it, right? Half of it will be for sperm cells. In the embryo cells, that's the new baby, it will also be 10. Because the new baby now get half. Half from the father, half from the mother. So the new baby, which is the embryo cells, will get 10 or so, not 20. Because you get 5 from the sperm cells and 5 from the egg cells. So these meant to confuse you. Because you think, oh, you will get 10 from father, 10 from mother. No, because the sperm cells is 5, the egg cells will also be 5. So 5 and 5 will give rise to this 10. So our answer is C. Our most correct answer is C. Is that okay? So we move on to the next question. Question 31. Let's take a look at question 31. We say, how will the composition of a pregnant woman's blood change as it passes through the placenta? So how will the blood change as the blood passes through the placenta? The concentration of the dissolved oxygen and the concentration of urea. Okay, concentration of dissolved oxygen. So the concentration of the dissolved oxygen will reduce, right? Will decrease as it goes to the placenta. Why? Because the mother will use, and then it will now get some to the baby. Then concentration of the urea will increase. Urea will increase. Okay, so our most correct answer is B. Our most correct answer is B. Now we go to question 32. Question 32, we're going to look at is a what carries a copy of a gene to a cytoplasm to make a protein. What you know mRNA? The mRNA molecules does that in the DNA, basically in the DNA strand. So is a what carries a copy of a gene to the cytoplasm to make a protein is mRNA. That one is messenger, the messenger RNA. So it's a messenger. This messenger RNA ribonucleic acid molecules that will carry the copy of the gene. That will carry the copy of the gene to the cytoplasm to make protein. Is that okay? So that's that for that. We go to question 33. For question 33, we say which statement about meiosis is correct? Which statement about meiosis is correct? Okay, the daughter cells are genetically identical. Meiosis. That's mitosis, right? The chromosomes number changes from haploid to diploid. No. The chromosomes number changes. No. It is used to produce body cells. That's mitosis. It allows the formation of new combinations of chromosomes. The formation of new combination of chromosomes. This looks a bit like more likely than others. The formation of new combination of chromosomes. Meiosis allows the formation of new combination of chromosomes. Now we go to question 34. Now for 34, we say color blindness is a characteristic that is sex-linked. Color blindness is a characteristic that is sex-linked. Which statement about color blindness is correct? A. The gene for color blindness is located on the Y chromosomes, and the color blindness is more common in male than in female. No. He said because A says the gene for color blindness is located in the Y chromosomes. No. And the color blindness is more common in male than in female. B, he said the gene for color blindness is located in the X chromosomes, and the color blindness is more common in male than in female. Could be. C, the gene for color blindness is located in the X chromosome, and the color blindness is more common in female than in male. The gene for color blindness is located in Y chromosome, and the color blindness is more common in female than. I think color blindness is more common in male, right? More common in male than in female. So the answer is between A and B. So in looking at A and B, we look which one is more correct. Color blindness is more common in male than in female. Like inability to see different colors correctly is more common in male than in female. Now let's look at, is it the gene for color blindness located in Y chromosome? No, it's not in Y chromosome, it's in X chromosome of the male. Okay. B. B is the most correct one. The X chromosome of the male, and is more common in male than in female. Now question 35. Let's take a look at question 35 quickly. The graph shows a percentage of different blood group in a human population. Different blood group in human population. Now we have percentage in the population, and here we have group A, group B, group AB, and group O. Now which type of variation is shown by the human blood group? Which type of variation? Is discontinuous variation. For human blood group is discontinuous variation. Okay, you can see even if you make a graph of this, you can see how this is discontinuous. Right? It's a discontinuous variation. It's a discontinuous variation. Blood group are regarded as discontinuous variation. They are regarded as discontinuous. We need to look at this topic again for variation. Continuous variation are like all those specific, like rolling of tongue and so on and so forth. Okay, now let's take a look at the options that we have. The option says continuous variation caused by genetic and environmental factor. No, blood group is not caused by your environmental factor. Continuous variation caused by genetic factors only. No, blood group is not a continuous variation. Discontinuous variation caused by genetic and environmental factor. No, environmental factor has nothing to do with your blood group. So discontinuous variation caused by genetic factors only. D. This is the most correct answer. So once your blood group, they are discontinuous variation, and they are caused by genetic factors only. Now we go to 36. New question 36. Question 36. New strains of the crop plant. New strains of the crop plant wheat can be produced by cross-breeding disease-resistant plants with those that give high yields of grain. Now, what is an example of this? Crossbreeding a disease to crossbreed a crop plant with a high yield one, you will do that by what you call it's not a natural selection because you are doing the crossbreeding. Crossbreeding is an artificial selection. Okay, and it's not called genetic engineering or asexual reproduction. New strains of crops plants with can be produced by crossbreeding. See, crossbreeding is a artificial selection. Crossbreeding a disease-resistant plant with those of the high yield of grains. So what is this an example of? It's an example of artificial selection. An example of artificial selection. Now we go to 37, question 37. We have the diagram shows the flow of energy. The flow of energy. Sun to grass, rabbit eat to food. This food something, right? Food chain something. Now, which form of energy is transferred at point 1 and 3 in the diagram? At point 1, energy from the sun to grass is called the sunlight, right? It's light energy. From the sun to the grass is light energy, right? They say 1 and 3. From rabbit to fox, which energy? When you eat animal, it gets chemical energy, right? You get chemical energy. So when you eat the food or if the fox eat rabbit, it gets chemical energy, right? Chemical. So we have light energy and chemical energy at points 1 and 3. So our answer becomes C. Light energy at point 1 and chemical energy at point 3. Okay, we move to question 38. We say the diagram shows the feeding relationship in a food web. So we have a food web. See, grass is eaten by rabbit is eaten by fox, grass is eaten by mouse is eaten by fox, grass is eaten by mouse is eaten by owl, grass is eaten by grasshopper is eaten by blackbird, grass is eaten by grasshopper is eaten by owl, and so wheat is also a plant. Wheat is eaten by mouse is eaten by fox. So this is a food web. Which organism may feed as both a secondary and tertiary consumer? Organisms in this that will be a tertiary. Which organism will feed as both tertiary and secondary? Which organism will feed as tertiary? Because this is the producer. These are the producer, the grass. These are the producer. These are primary consumer, right? These are can be a secondary consumer. And which other instance can make this one? Is it can act as secondary and tertiary consumer? Yeah, I think force can act as tertiary. You know why? Secondary consumer, this primary consumer, this secondary consumer. But if you now go this route, see, this primary consumer, this secondary consumer, this is not tertiary consumer. If you go through this route, okay, so it becomes fox. So fox can act as primary. See, this is producer, this primary. If you go this route and this route, which organisms may feed as both secondary and tertiary consumer? Which of these organisms will feed as secondary and primary consumer? Look, listen. This is, if you go first, let's look at this first branch. The rabbit is the primary consumer, and fox here become a secondary consumer. So fox has gotten that status of secondary. If you go this route, mouse is primary consumer, fox is secondary consumer. Fox get that secondary status. If you go here, owl is a secondary consumer also. If you go this route, grasshopper is primary consumer, owl is still secondary. Owl did not get a tertiary. If you go this route again, grasshopper is primary consumer, blackbird is secondary consumer, but there's only one arrow going to fox from here, which makes fox now a tertiary consumer. So fox is acting as both secondary and tertiary consumer. That's why fox is the correct answer. We move to question 39. Question 39 is why are bacteria useful in genetic engineering? You know, we use bacteria to make all this yeast, and yeast to make bread and all of these things. Why are bacteria useful in genetic engineering? Their genetic code is different to other organisms. Not really. They have cell walls. That is the only one that have cell walls. They have plasmids. They reproduce sexually. Are they the only one that produce sexually? They have plasmid. I think that's the most absolute. Bacteria, they have plasmid. Because of that, if you study this course, you see, because of that, they find usefulness in genetic engineering. Now let's go to question 40. Question 40 talks about hormones. Which hormones can cause feminization of male fish? Which hormone can cause feminization of anti-feminization of male fish? Will be the hormone in female. Even though it's a male fish, it's the hormones that will be found in the female. The estrogen and the progesterone. The estrogen, these are the hormones in the female, right? The FSH. The estrogen, so I write O for estrogen and P for progesterone. Testosterone is for male. Although it's a male fish, but they say feminization, to change the male fish to female fish. So it says C, estrogen and progesterone hormones. Okay, that will be responsible for that characteristic act. So with this, we come to the end of our class. Thank you for joining Wisdom Academy.